Okay, so how do you stump an anti-Israel activist during Pride weekend that asks you, do you, a Zionist, care about humanity and justice?
Do you believe in justice? Hold on. Listen. Do you believe in justice for all people? Do you believe in justice for all the people? Okay.
Yeah. I have one question, because I'll start with saying there was a Palestinian boy called Abu Khair who was burned alive by Israeli football hooligans, racist hooligans, and I utterly condemned it. Now the hooligans are rotting in jail and I'm pleased for that. Hamas recently executed one of their generals because he was LGBT, he was gay. They executed him for him. Will you stand up and condemn the execution of gay men in the Palestinian territories?
I would condemn anyone who is unjustly.
So I'm saying, do you believe that homosexuals that are put to death in the Palestinian territories are unjustly killed?
They're not even following Sharia law, right? You need full witnesses.
No, forget Sharia law. I want to know you as a human.
I don't know what happened.
I'm telling you.
Human beings should not be treated
It's a really simple. I came out straight up. I said straight away, the murderers of Abu Khair, may they rot in jail. I'm asking you to say, those that put gays to death in the Palestinian territories, can you condemn them?
I've been standing here for 10 minutes listening to rubbish.
Anyone who is murdered, any innocent person who is unjustly murdered.
But I'm asking you, will you say that
innocent person should not be murdered?
No, I'm asking, is it wrong to kill gay men? Let's just say yes, it is wrong to kill gay men.
It's a waste of time.
No, literally, just say yes, it is wrong to kill people for their sexual preferences. It's an easy thing to say.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so can you say that on the camera? Just say
I don't even want to be on camera.
Why won't you say that on camera?
What does
it achieve? Because you came over talking about injustice, and I also am a big fan of advocating for justice for all people. Yes. And one of the most persecuted people in the Middle East, particularly in the Palestinian territories, are the LGBT community. Okay. So just like I'm
going to look into that. And I'm going to because you've informed me of that. I will look into that and what is happening in regards.
Okay, so there was a general who was put to death by Hamas.
I will look into that and I will see.
Okay.
I am against any form of injustice toward anybody, whatever their sexual preference, whatever their religion.
Okay, so I have to thank David Collier from Beyond the Great Divide for this footage, which shows a disgusting homophobe ranting outside the PalExpo over the weekend during Pride Week.
Because today we live in a society that is not allowed to talk about this. So let's not bring up homosexuality, please. Even though Sodom and Gomorrah were a fine example to us all, let's not talk about this subject. Even though it has an open, loose reign in Israel, then God's chosen people are giving full homage to this blatant, blasphemous Adam and Eve instead of Adam and Steve. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry to say, my friend, Sodom and Gomorrah was a fine example to us all. Please open the Bible. If they are God's chosen people, why are they supporting these people? Are they not faking to be God's chosen people? Are they not faking to be God's chosen people? Well, how would we have pride in something that God has told us to not abstain from? To abstain from this because it's a great thing. But God's chosen people decide to be promoting it. Oh my gosh. When Jesus returns, he will destroy all that is false in this earth. He will destroy the cross.
Have you ever encountered those anti-Israel activists that accuse you of pinkwashing when you try to promote Israel's incredible record for promoting LGBT plus rights in the Middle East? Well, I encountered one of those at the PalExpo, and this is how I got him to accept and admit that Israel promoting LGBT plus rights in the Middle East is a good thing.
Can I get, excuse me, you got a pride umbrella?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's a pride umbrella.
Yeah, it's a flag.
Yeah, well, I'm guessing with the time.
Yeah.
Are you part of this?
I went to that, yes.
What do you think about LGBT rights in the Palestinian territories?
I would rather not be interviewed if that's okay.
I think, yeah, you're using fluffy veganism and some respect for gay rights in a massive pink-washing, greenwashing campaign.
So is it bad that Israel does that?
Is it bad? Well, I would say that in the grand scheme of things, bombing the shit out of people is a little bit worse when whether or not you respect their rights to their sexuality.
Is that bad? Is it bad that Israel promotes gay rights in the Middle East?
No. Gay rights in the Middle East, gay rights anywhere in the world, that's a good thing.
Often the videos that I shoot show the very worst of our detractors, but on both sides you have good and bad. And in this video I interviewed a very courageous young woman, a Palestinian woman, who is promoting and fighting for better treatment and greater LGBT plus rights in the West Bank and Gaza Strip. So very refreshing to interview her, and this is what she had to say about the status of the LGBT plus community in that region.
So we were just talking about LGBT rights, and you were mentioning that you had family in Gaza and family in Ramallah, and you yourself. Could you just share with me what you just said?
Basically, I'm here doing my postgrad degree in gender and sexuality anyways. This is something I didn't tell you. And I'm doing my dissertation right now in queer literature in the Levant region, and I'm talking about Syria. I'm discussing the LGBT community in Palestine, Syria, and Lebanon. There's a lot. First of all, there's like 3 main LGBT communities and LGBT organizations in Palestine. There's a lot of LGBT movements. There's a lot of work towards having a queer Palestinian identity that is both an activist and also they're an activist on a human rights scale and on a Palestinian scale. So there isn't that much tolerance, but we're getting there. We're getting to that extent, which is a good step.
What's the biggest challenge in promoting better rights and more equalities for the LGBT community in the territories?
Basically, just like any community, there's always so many obstacles. There's always the religious obstacle, there's always traditions, there's always cultures, there's always like a kind of subtle understandings from people. There's an older generation that we're kind of struggling to make them understand the idea. There's people who still think that it's a mental illness, just like in the UK. People are still struggling with the main idea of homosexuality and LGBT, trying to kind of understand and grasp the main idea. If we get them to understand that, we'll get them to the point where they actually understand the practices, where they understand how the fact that being homosexual or being queer, being anything doesn't have to contradict with your Palestinian identity or Muslim identity.
Can I ask, does the Israeli community and the Palestinian community work together on LGBT issues, do you know?
Some organizations do work with Israelis, some organizations choose not to. So it depends on the kind of organization, it depends on where the grassroots of the organization, and they're like, some organizations are in the occupied territories inside what is called Israel. They have to, it's kind of like a collaboration between them and Israeli LGBT individuals. Some organizations in the West Bank are completely separated because of borders, because of everything else. They're completely separated.
So I think I can say that we're probably going to agree with very little when it comes to Israel-Palestine, but I think when it comes to promoting LGBT rights within the entire Middle East, we are quite aligned.
That's an internationalist thing. I can't disagree with that, whether in Palestine, whether in the occupied territories, whether everywhere. So.
I'm just going to come on the camera, just because I'm an Orthodox Jew, and you said before
that I'm Palestinian and Muslim.
And a Muslim, and so there we have 2 religious people
that agree on LGBT. Please stop killing them, freaking ISIS people.